Perfect. Hello, everyone. And so we are back for our third Alicia's Corner. So it's our monthly update. We have 1 week delay compared to our initial planning, but there was some element we wanted to make sure we have ready for this one. And so we'll be going through that today. Just a quick heads up. We are going to do a shorter version today, and specifically we are not going to do the poll for this one because our main target right now is ready to be out of beta, so we are literally in just a polishing status where we are trying to make sure that we fix all the bugs that needs fixing and get everything ready for the release out of beta, which includes a more stable version of the application, which should be coming very soon. And yeah, basically all of that being ready in time for this. We'll be going through some of the release that happened over the past weeks, and so we'll go through that. If you have any questions at any time, please just feel free to drop them in chat. We'll come through it at any point to answer that, and we'll just also expand to what's going on for January, which is going to be quite a month for us, and so what we are planning to do after that. So should we start with the first element there? I think a lot of you will have some recollection of the she said issue that happens over the past month. You know, the nice element where Alicia was talking and then at the end she was just saying, she said, or something like this. So we finally found a way to fix this issue. So now it's a bit more stable, and so that's how it works now that the TTS is a bit... it's not saying she said anymore. So on the Pro Voice. On top of that, so we made some update on the public API. So the way to integrate with Alicia for some video games or any other basically tools, or if you want to script some elements, you can always write some scripts that would be sending specific element to Alicia through the API. So we just increased the size of the different elements you can send to Alicia at that point. So that was a small update, but it helps a lot on the API that help us to have better integration with games as well. So we wanted to have that ready. After that, so we also worked to add a new type of settings that happens a few weeks ago. So it's called the writing style. It's just below the interaction settings on your character page, and that helps you to actually have the two new settings. The first one is something that has been requested by quite a lot of people, and the most voted for the poll of the last monthly update was a way to actually remove the emojis from her messages. So, you know, the simple smiley or stuff like this. So she will only be using emotes for Twitch or no emotes at all and just be writing directly in chat. So that's basically done, and it's inside the writing style. And you also have the more casual settings, which is a way for Alicia to write in a more internet style. So she's going to be a bit more casual on the way of writing. We have added some warning around that because it might also make her more easily triggered. So let's just say like a bit more internetish vibe where she would be a bit more aggressive on some topics. So if you...
it's Alicia that spent too much time on Twitter.
Exactly. Alongside with the writing style, we talked a bit about that, I think, last monthly update, but it was really only in the experimental mode. It wasn't really tested fully through. But we finally released a new brain update. So that's basically a way for Alicia to feel a bit more natural in the way she's writing, and also understand better like complex conversation with different topics. So that's part of our kind of continuous update on the brain. It's also it's always quite a big improvement or a big change. So we're trying to be as careful as we can when we do those kind of updates, because it's really changing the core of how Alicia is working. One element that maybe you've seen on the dashboard now, there is a small bubble on the bottom left corner, which this one is a direct chat with us. So directly through the dashboard. A lot of you are already on Discord, so you know that you can just drop us a message. We'll be there to answer. But some people don't really want to join the Discord directly, and so they're basically losing on having the support that a lot of people have there on the Discord. So we added this direct chats directly on the dashboard to make sure that everyone can actually have the same type of support when they are using Alicia.
I'll go with the rest of the updates.
Yeah.
First one, the memory page. We made some updates to the page so that it looked more in line with the rest of the dashboard. Now it should be easier and more seamless to go through the memories, add new memories. We made some changes to the display names, and especially the display name page, the page where you can retrieve the token for your display name. So we had a few days where this page wasn't working anymore. So we were using another tool, and that's apparently stopped working. So we made our own, and so now it should be also easier. It was easier also for us to have that to let you know if you're trying to get the token for your current account, which it's always something that was confusing for people trying to get the display name. So should be a lot better now. And we've also added the option to disable moderation when you're using these kind of custom display names. So if you're using Alicia, you will see messages moderated from time to time. If she's saying something that should be moderated, now you can kind of disable it. Some messages get moderated, but we read through them and shouldn't have been moderated. So yeah, if you want an Alicia that's a bit more spicy, put a different name and
disable the moderation. Yeah, I mean we know that Anti-Games had also some issues around that, and I think that was one of the elements we added after having a chat on the support. Correct me if I'm wrong, Anti-Games, but I think that was the case. There is still some work that we will be doing into adding some forbidden sentences or words or things like this.
Yeah, strengthening our whole moderation policy for specific things that are very. Sometimes there are some way of saying something that's fine in some languages or some culture and not in others. So we'll do more work there, so it's less risks of having something that's a bit crazy or offensive that goes out of Alicia's mouth or hands. I don't know, if she's chatting, she's typing, right? Talking about speaking or typing, well, I do segues for myself. We released the option to not post messages in chat that Alicia has been saying through TTS. So if you want to have Alicia just kind of speaking in your stream directly, you can disable the chat messages. By default, all the messages are sent in chat and the TTS messages are spoken out loud. But now you can decide, hey, if she's saying something, she doesn't need to write it. Better for immersion. And I think you can do very cool stuff if you start working with these different audience restriction for TTS, where technically if she's talking to chat, she's typing in chat, and if she's talking to you directly, she's only speaking through voice. So I think you can do cool things with that. Last thing, we released a new curated character, Peter the Family Guy, which has been used by many people. I've seen and I've heard his voice, a very easy to recognize voice, in several streams. Quite happy with the result, quite happy with how people like it. It's the continuation of having this kind of more refined character like we did with Spooktober. So yeah,
Freddy Krueger, sorry, you cut off.
No, I don't.
You did.
Sorry, I'm the Peter Family Guy. I have to be kind of not super nice like he is. I mean, sometimes he's nice, sometimes he's not. Depends if there are giant chickens around. We'll build more curated character over time, and please try them. Let us know what you think, and if you have any suggestions, any idea for our next curated characters, please let us know.
I think has been said to have something around Santa, so maybe something that will be coming in the next weeks. We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I heard the "You Baba Papa" voice is perfect for Santa.
Oh. I'm not a good Santa. That's for sure. That's basically it for the past few weeks. There is some element that I wanted to point out, as we have also some people there, because there was a bug that happened for Anti Games, where Alicia recently joined multiple times. We're working towards a fix for that to make sure that it can't happen anymore. However, if it happened to you, just please report it to us. Let us know how it happened, when it happened, and yeah, just voice the issue when it happens, so we know and we can find the best way to fix that issue. And hopefully we should have a fix this week to make sure that everything is going smoothly. There is one element that I want to also give a heads up on. Some of you already had a chance to test out the Go Live page, which is the page that's going to replace the Speak to Alicia. So this page currently is only experimental for the people using the web application, and it is the main page when you're using the app, the Windows app. So this is going to be fully released most probably this week, and that's going to be a bit more visible for everyone in the way that it should be easier to use in a lot of circumstances, specifically if you are testing new characters or things like this. You have everything in one page, including the TTS, the Speak to Alicia, the messages, the memory, so all of that, plus some access to quick settings. So that should be available very soon on the web application. Just something to remember, it's going to replace the Speak to Alicia page. So it means that this the Speak to Alicia is no longer going to be available, including the alternative mode. So if you have been using the alternative mode, the best option is going to be installing the standalone application. That's going to replace the alternative mode. That's one of the things we're trying to do as well, to make sure that moderation is in your hands and not in ours as much as possible. So because we know that it just depends on the community, so we shouldn't be the one deciding which element should be said or shouldn't. So you should be the one in control of your community. You have the same restriction as we do with the TOS and all of that, but that's basically you control your community. So we do the best we can to make sure that this is the case at any points in time, but obviously we have restriction as well sometimes. So that's why it was bit more restricted a few months ago, and now we're basically trying to make it more and more in your control rather than us. The iOS and Android application is something that we definitely have in mind. So I'm sorry, I forgot to read the question. So I like the Windows app. Will there as well be an app for iOS and Android? So definitely it's something we are looking into. So we know that there is some options. The way we're thinking about it, most probably is going to be something very central around the Go Live page, rather than a full application controlling Alicia and the characters and all that. Because the idea for us is to make it easier for people doing IRL stream to have a way to communicate with Alicia while they are basically live, which is currently extremely hard for anyone to do that. So we're looking of a way to get an Android application or an iOS application that's going to make that bridge, to make sure that we can hear what they are saying, and so Alicia can respond to them while they're streaming. Sorry. And so yeah, just to restate this, so our main focus right now, and that's going to be the case I think until the end of the year, is for us to polish the current version that we have, like fixing the bugs that has been reported, making sure that everything is working as we expect, to be sure that we are confident with the release of beta that has been in our minds for quite a long time now.
For the past 6 months, yes.
So as soon as we get off beta, so there will be communication. You will most probably have some emails and message in the Discord. We are going to plan around like communication and marketing around that as well. And after that, we will be able to focus more into new features, new big features. So I'm including this with, the vision, the Alicia's action, new integration for different platforms. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, like wink, Discord and and TikTok or stuff like this. So that's going to help us to allocate more time towards those big
projects. You
Yeah.
know, like a lot of work, because going to Discord, it's going to be very interesting, but also a lot of work to take what we have and make it work on Discord and bring all the ideas we have, because we don't want just Alicia to be just posting message on Discord. We have other ideas of what we want her to do there.
And,
Same with TikTok. Like there are some dashboards updates that come with it, because all the Twitch related stuff, it's not really makes sense for if you're using TikTok, right? So
yeah,
there are some work, and even for the Twitch related part, a lot of people have been talking about channel points.
Yeah.
So we know channel points. There is some work to do there. We have the event, what we call the event goal, or the when it's a suggestion from Chris, who's in the chat there. So having this kind of side quest around the events, and for example, people would cheer, and every cheer messages would be treated like differently in the way that, for example, they want to seduce Alicia and she has to rate their pickup line. It would be this kind of having these kind of things that lives on the side of the normal Alicia, because otherwise she would be rating everyone's messages as pickup lines, which can be fun, but also, well, not everything is a pickup line, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe for some people it is.
Yeah. So yeah, we have quite a lot of work to do there, and so we want to make sure that we have a stable version of Alicia that's also going to help us to have less issues during the week that we have to jump on to make sure that Alicia is stable. So that's one of the big elements for us to do, is to get off beta and make sure that this version of Alicia is stable enough to do that. TikTok would be awesome, but the crazy blocking would shut me down at every stream. You mean the moderation system? Because I know they have like a very, very strong moderation there. It's a quite tricky element. I've seen quite a lot of people being shut down very quickly on TikTok.
Yeah. On TikTok, it would be mostly Alicia speaking, because you can't post messages in chat as a bot. So it would be mostly like interacting with Alicia via voice.
I mean,
and she would read the chat and react to the if someone donates something or this kind of thing, she would be reacting to those things as well.
For example, that's exactly one of the thing with TikTok is we would be able to make Alicia post a message in the chat, but we would expose every account linked to Alicia to being banned very quickly. So that's one of the elements that we can't basically rely sustainably for Alicia in the long run. So that's why we decided like the integration would be mainly audio rather than directly in chat. So that's going to be close to the end for that. We'll be moving around, but if you have any question that you would like an answer directly from us right now, please feel free to just drop it in chat. So we'll see you on the Discord, and keep an eye out on the next release. We'll have one tonight, and we'll see you around. Anyway, have a great festive season. Hopefully enjoy some time off with your family. One last element, I don't think we have time, so I'll see you soon. Cheers.
See you. Bye bye.